and I for the love of the pride. You and I for the love of the pride. You and I for the love of the pride. All ready to ride for the love of the pride. It's a vibe though, blessed with survival. Get ready for the love, it's the pride of Kyro. You and I in our family ties, all ready to ride for the love of the pride. It's a vibe though, blessed with survival. Get ready for the love, it's the pride of Kyro. You and I in our family ties, all ready to ride for the love of the pride.
Your ancestors bust their ass to be able to give generation after generation a fine education. Don't you dare belittle the work that me and my family have done to create such a powerful legacy. I don't want any negative things to stick to the Carter name.
All ready to ride for the love of the pride.
I was posted, sitting on my couch in my studio, listening to this track I just laid down. I was working with my new artist, Sasha. I let my brethren C4 get on the track cause I knew he was nice with the bars. Sasha was shaking that ass to the beat. I knew she was putting on the show for me by the way she kept on looking at me each time she made that ass clap.
Man, you seeing this?
Nah, I'm Ray Charles of this shit since the last time Farrah caught me trying to see something. And we all know how that turned out.
Yo, whatever happened to old girl?
Yo, I had to cut old girl off the label if I wanted to keep Farrah from leaving me.
Smart move. Farrah's the hottest thing in R&B right now.
Of course she is. I produced the last 3 albums. The more I ignored Sasha by carrying on the conversation with C4 about my girl Farrah, the more raunchy her dance moves got. She was tempting me, but I promised Farrah I was gonna keep it in my pants, and that's exactly what I intended to do. See, Farrah had a bad temper, and it got even worse when it came to me and being around other women. Just when Sasha dropped it down to the floor, ready to show me what she was really working with, the door of my studio flew open. I looked up, seen Farrah busting in like she owned the spot. In a matter of seconds, her peach complexion turned beet red as she seen Sasha on the floor, turking that ass in the air. Now, babe, it's not what it looks like. I was about to get up when she threw a big-ass heavy purse to the side, which just happened to be where my head was. It hit me right on the side of my face. I looked over at C4, and his face told me that we were thinking the same thing. Oh, shit!
So this how y'all make tracks? Popping your pussy? You must think you laying it down, huh?
As I stood up to let Farrah know it wasn't what it was looking like, I seen Sasha sizing up my girl. She decided that she really didn't want that smoke, so she waved her off, turning her back on Farrah to walk away?
Oh, so you gonna dismiss me like you wasn't just in here dancing for my man?
I grabbed Farrah's arm cause I knew she was about to do something dumb. Farrah yanked away from me and forcibly pushed me back down on the couch. My woman was a brick house, so I knew I was gonna have to be forceful with her tonight. Before I can get up, Farrah grabbed a hold of Sasha's hair, pulling her down to the floor. I hoped that C4 would break it up before Farrah could do anything else to this girl. Psst, there this nigga go. This fool done slid the chair to the side, giving Farrah more space to kick this girl silly. Sasha didn't even fight back. After she fell to the floor, she just covered her head, embracing herself for whatever my girl was about to give her. What? Who does that? Just as Farrah picked up her foot to stick her heel in Sasha's head, I grabbed her by the waist and threw her to the side, placing myself between her and Sasha, who was still on the floor. Have you lost your mind? I could tell that extra bass in my voice alarmed her, but she got over that quickly.
Have I lost my mind? I'm not popping my ass for another nigga.
Neither was I. My little joke made her mad, causing her to pop me in my head.
You think this is funny?
Now that right there, that's a big pet peeve of mine. Females hitting me in public? Not only did she storm in my session, almost stomped the crap out of one of my new artists, but then she put her hands on me in front of my boy? I was done with Farrah for the night. I cannot do this. Yo, you are too jealous, Farrah. I'm working. You got to go.
You're kicking me out for this bitch?
What? I ain't even justify that with an answer. I grabbed her by her arm and dragged her towards the door. Just as I opened up the door to put her on the other side, we were greeted by a team of police officers pointing guns in our face.
Freeze!
They startled both Farrah and me. Well, Farrah more than me, because she started screaming like a white girl in a scary movie.
Ah!
I put my hands up and turned around. That's when I caught C4 trying to run out the back door.
Oh, shit!
Damn, so much for friendship. A task force must have been coming up the stairs from the back door, because C4 walked his ass right back into the studio with his hands up too. They threw handcuffs on all four of us.
Mr. Carter, we have a warrant to search the premises.
An officer said as he quickly flashed a piece of paper in my face. I ain't even know what the thing read. Search the premises? For what?
Seems like Mr. Caleb Harvey over here, aka C4, has been selling drugs out of your studio, which makes you an accessory to distribution of narcotics.
Furious, I turned my head towards C4. Best friend since childhood. He couldn't even stand to look me in my eyes, which told me it was true. C4 just put his head down like a fucking coward.
Now, under there.
My sister was a lawyer. And this was the first time I found myself in trouble with the law, so I knew to stay quiet. I just watched in pure anger as they tore my expensive equipment apart, looking for who knows what.
Bingo! Found it! Look at this, Cap!
The officer threw a tightly wrapped package of cocaine in the air. I turned my head to see who the captain was. Fuck me! It was Chiba. Should've known. Captain Chiba, for some reason, had a hard-on for my ass. Most of the time I found myself in trouble with the law, it was him at the damn scene. I ain't know what this guy's issue was with me, but I'm ready to tell my sister hit his ass with a harassment suit. Shit is getting ridiculous.
Well, Mr. Carter, this doesn't look too good. I don't even think your sister could get you out of this one.
Captain Chiba is so happy right now. If I wasn't raised any different, man, I would've spat on his ass. Oh yeah? Call her anyway, 'cause I want my lawyer.
I am too tired for this. It's 3 a.m. After a long day in court, the last place I wanted to be was in a police station. But here I was, after getting a phone call from my little brother that they arrested him on drug charges. Now, Kingston was a lot of things, but a drug dealer was not one of them. I swear if I had the time, I would hit this station for harassment. Every time I turned around, they hemmed my brother up with some bogus charge. I was gonna go off in here tonight.
Where is my client?
I yelled as soon as I walked up to the help desk. I spotted him in the back with an officer about to fingerprint him.
Sir, don't you dare put his fingers in that ink.
I unlatched the door that separated the public from the back of the station and walked right up to where my brother was. An officer yelled for me to stop, but I ignored him and kept walking. I snatched Kingston's hand away from the officer. Kingston got this look of relief on his face when he seen me, almost like he was silently gloating because he knew I was about to go off. And he was right.
Who is in charge tonight? Who is in charge?
I waited to see who would be so bold to step up tonight.
London Carter.
I turned to see who was singing my name. Out of Captain Chiba's office came Wes, a prosecutor I went to law school with. We were always going head to head in a courtroom. He was a great prosecutor, just couldn't beat me on my worst day. Wes was a gorgeous white boy. Actually looked like he belonged in a Calvin Klein ad, then a suit and tie in a courtroom. Wes walked right up to me. Due to my heels I had on, we were eye to eye.
Wes, should have known.
Nice to see you too, gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. It was no secret. Wes had a huge crush on me.
I got that perp on the other side.
Wes, if you wanted a date, all you had to do was grow a set of balls and ask. Dragging my brother in on a bogus charge was definitely not the way.
And I'll keep that in mind. However, you're not going to be able to walk out of here with your client tonight. We have a warrant that is going to make these charges stick this time.
Wes, I have a copy of your little warrant. Unfortunately for you, your warrant doesn't have shit to do with my client.
He laughed. I waited till he was done because I knew when I was done, this would be far from funny.
What are you talking about, London?
The warrant only gives you permission to search anywhere Mr. Harvey lived in the past 10 years.
And place of employment. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Mr. Harvey signed to Mr. Carter's label, making his studio his place of employment?
No, he is not.
I pulled out the contract from my brother written for C4 and gave it to Wes.
The day he was supposed to sign, your police department that you love so much arrested him for a DUI. He never got around to it. Therefore, you did an illegal search of my client's property, making any evidence you found inadmissible in court. Please take the shackles off my brother before my family hits this precinct with a lawsuit so huge your children's children will be paying it off.
Wes snatched the contract from me. He turned 3 different shades of red in the time it took him to realize C4 was not actually signed to my brother's label. He then whispered something to Captain Chiba in his ear. Captain Chiba then turned red as well. Who cared? He had no choice but to order his officers to release my brother, and that's exactly what they did.
Oh, and the release of Farrah Wright, Sasha Brew, and Mr. Harvey as well, please.
No, absolutely not. Mr. Harvey stays.
Wes was playing with me now, and I was too tired for his games. I sashayed over to stand directly in front of him. I needed him to be clear about one thing.
Wes, I'm going to be his lawyer at arraignment. If you drag me into court on a bogus warrant, I will tear your white beach boy ass to shreds and then eat you after my client and I walk out of the courtroom. Let's make a deal. You save me the trip, and I let you buy me lunch.
I don't know if it was because he knew I was right and wanted to save himself the embarrassment, or I finally agreed to break bread with him. Either way, he told Chiba to let them go as he made this dramatic exit out of the station. I laughed to myself as I sashayed to my car and waited on my brother. Moments later, Kingston came out and got into the passenger side to my Range Rover.
Oh, it's wild. Thanks, sis.
Kingston kissed me on the cheek before giving me a sheepish look.
How mad is he?
Pissed. The press is all over this. Just let me do the explaining.
Just hours earlier, the studio of record producer Kingston Carter was raided by a task force team. The police reported to find several kilos of crack cocaine and guns. Several artists were arrested, including Kingston Carter, who is the son of Kyro Carter. The Carter family has yet to release a statement denying any allegations of involvement. The police department has yet to release a statement other than a full investigation is to follow. Tune in as Morning World News will keep you updated.
My dad turned off the TV just as London and Kingston walked into the house. I gotta tell you, I despise these family meetings because they were nothing more but a pissing match between my dad and Kingston. London hugged my mother and father as soon as she walked into the house. Kingston was behind her, so when my mother seen him, she immediately rushed over to him and inspected him for bruises and marks. Asia was a bit much, always.
Did they hit you?
My mother had the voice of an angel and matched the way she looked. Asia was small like a figurine, and for 50, my mother was always mistaken for my sister's sister.
No, Mom, I'm fine. Really.
Kingston answered, growing impatient with my mother's inspection.
Well, good, son. Now you can explain to me why once again you've dragged this family's name through the mud.
The bass in my dad's voice told my mother it was nothing she could do to save her son from a tongue lashing. So she slowly walked off, taking a seat next to Brooklyn on the couch. Yes, we were all here. It didn't matter what we had going on. When Kyro called the family meeting, we were to stop and come.
Dad, it's not as bad as the media's making it seem.
And so it begins. My sister defended Kingston in court and at home. Sometimes she won a case, sometimes she lost him.
The media has nothing to do with this. Why is our name even connected to such a story?
Kingston clenched his jaw. You could tell he wanted to say something so bad. The rest of us prayed he didn't, so we could all go home.
Kingston had nothing to do with it this time. One of his artists was selling drugs from the studio. Kingston knew nothing about that.
How could you not know what's going on in your own studio?
It was an honest mistake, Dad. He can't control other people's actions. I'm sure this will blow over.
London?
Kyro shot her a deadly look. I guess he didn't feel like playing that game tonight.
Yes, Father.
Defeated, London lowered her head and joined my mother in Brooklyn on the couch. Now that Kingston didn't have his trusted mouthpiece, we all knew this was about to be a long night.
Everything doesn't just go away. Some things stick. I don't want any negative things to stick to the Carter name.
Are you serious? Is everything with you about the Carter name? What about the actual Carter family? Hello, Dad. I'm fine after being dragged out of my studio while I was minding my own business on some bogus charges. How are you?
Don't you dare take that type of stance with me. They wouldn't have ground to stand on if you didn't hang out with those people. I keep telling you about the company you keep.
Oh, because they don't belong to some country club or didn't graduate from Harvard or Yale, that they're not good enough to be seen with the Carters?
You're such an ungrateful child. Your ancestors bust their ass to be able to give generation after generation a fine education. Don't you dare belittle the work that me and my family have done to create such a powerful legacy.
But you don't see the hard work that I've done to keep our legacy alive.
How can I? Every time I turn on the news, I see you in some kind of trouble.
Kingston threw up his hands.
Here we go. Always me. Always me. Am I the only Carter in this family that gets in trouble? No. But no one had a goddamn thing to say when Kane got Misha pregnant when they was just 14.
What the hell? How the hell did I enter this shit show?
Damn, little bro. You just gonna throw me under the bus like that?
Kingston waved me off as if throwing me under the bus was irrelevant right now. Yo, my little brother was in fighter mode. Unfortunately for him, Kyro remains undefeated.
Kingston, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You don't realize that what you do affects us all. You're talking about something dumb that Kane did when he was young. When are you going to grow up and stop fucking up?
Yeah, okay. I see nothing I say tonight is gonna matter. Once again, even though I didn't do anything, I'm wrong and you're right.
Don't you patronize me, boy.
That's just it, Dad. I'm not a boy anymore. When are you gonna realize that?
When you start acting like a man.
Just when this was about to turn into a roaring match between the king and the cub, a strange woman storms into my parents' living room. Now, yes, she was a beautiful cocoa brown sister with big brown eyes and full lips that for some reason was colored with red lipstick. But I didn't know her. And for her just to storm into my parents' house pissed me off.
Hello, family. It seems like we have a lot of damage control to do. I'm ready. Who's with me?
She was too loud for my liking as well.
Yo, who was she?
I don't know.
I guess she felt the tension in the room.
Is everything okay? Okay, guys, there's no time for a family dispute. We have a lot of damage control to do.
Her statement pissed me off more than her storming into my parents' living room unannounced.
Neffi, just have the transcripts in my office tomorrow morning, before I get there.
My dad then walked off to his study with my mother on his heels. Guess Asia was going to do some damage control of her own. The stranger, or should I say Neffi, as my father just called her, turned her attention to the rest of us.
Okay, people, I have prepared statements for everyone to say when the media approaches you about Kingston's incident. Please read them and stick to them.
She handed everyone a transcript. When she got to me to hand me a copy, I just looked at her. I didn't know her, so I didn't want anything she had to give out.
Kane, do we have a problem?
Wait a minute. How the hell does she know my name?
I'm sorry, and who are you again?
I'm the Carter's new spokesperson. No one told you guys? Well, this is awkward.
What happened to Clarkston? I liked her.
I'm sure you did.
It was rumored that Dad fired Clarkston after finding out Kingston and her were having a sexual relationship.
Look, don't come in here with your preconceived notions about my family and think you're just going to tell us what to do. I'm a grown man. I don't need anybody telling me what to say.
You let her know, bro.
Kingston threw her transcript on the floor and stormed out the living room. I just shook my head as I watched my brother storm off. I didn't like Neffi's approach, but I still wouldn't have thrown her transcripts on the floor. Standing up, more than ready to leave, I watched her take in my stature. I mean, I was an attractive man. My cinnamon complexion had matched very well with my hazel eyes. And 6 feet solid, not fat, but solid frame drove the ladies crazy. I didn't have time to entertain them like Kingston. Okay, maybe here or there, but not often.
Next time, knock. Whisper. Ask. Don't tell me what to do. And yes, my name is Kane, but my employees call me Mr. Carter.
With that being said, I was done for the night. I started to walk past her towards the front door.
Well then, sir, since I don't work for you, your father is Mr. Carter. You will be whoever I make you out to be. And I hope you really do know what to say, because the last time I watched you get interviewed about Kingston, the media turned your words all around, causing the biggest family feud any network has ever seen.
She sashayed past me, swinging her briefcase in delight as she exited my parents' house. Heated, I turned to look at London, who was hiding her face so I couldn't see her laughing.
What the fuck? Oh, she's gone by morning.
I don't know, Kate. Dad has been raving about his new spokesperson for days now. I think he really likes this one.
I could care less. She's gone.
I think you two have great chemistry, actually.
London began walking towards the front door to leave. I followed her, appalled at her comment.
Wait, get back here. Don't walk off after saying some shit like that. What is that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying, after your divorce to Misha, you've been messing with...
Yeah. Man, spit it out.
Oh, hell. I'm just gonna say it. Skanks. You've been messing with skanks. Nefertiti seems like she has a good head on her shoulders, and she don't take no shit. I haven't seen you get told off like that since... I haven't seen you get told off like that since, well, I never seen you get told off like that.
You got me.
Sweat dripped from our bodies as the fan did nothing to alleviate the heat that rose from inside of us. I grabbed the sheets that wrapped around him, grasping a handful of the skin on his back. He held onto my ass for added control as I sat on top of him with my legs sprawled apart, one on each side of him. Bryson pounded me on and off of him, sending waves of pleasure through my body with each and every stroke. I rested my head on his shoulder, moaning in his ear, letting him know he was pleasing to my body. When my nails began to dig into his skin, he knew I was on the brink of coming. But I could tell he wasn't ready to give me that pleasure yet. Bryson was a control freaking bit, even wanting to control when and how I came. Just as I was about to reach ecstasy, he lifted me off of him, flipping me on my stomach effortlessly. Frustrated because this was his third time interrupting what could have been a wonderful explosion. I was also turned on that this muscle-bound football player was able to toss me around in bed like I was a ball at a Sunday night game. I rose up, placing my body on all fours. Bryson pulled my legs from under me, taking me off my knees. He slid inside my wet juice box, moaning as he put all 10 inches inside of me. He laid on top of me and stroked my sweet spot passionately. Bryson entwined his fingers with mine as he kissed the back of my neck. He was driving me crazy as every part of my body tingled under him. My muscles tightened, letting Bryson know I was about to orgasm. He pulled out of me as he was about to come too. I sucked my teeth as he flipped me over. He slid inside of me with ease as my kitty cat was creamy and wet. Bryson smiled at the annoyance in my face. I wanted to slap that smell off. He kissed me on the lips while bringing me back to the edge of ecstasy.
Daddy wanna see.
I smiled, already knowing Bryson loved to watch me lose control as I came all over him. He quickened his stroke, hitting my G-spot at a rapid pace. I held on to him for dear life as I felt myself lose control over my body. My head tilted back, and I could feel my eyes begin to roll in the back of my head. An explosion went off between my legs that sent turbulence throughout my whole body. I yelled out in a high-pitched moan that boasted Bryson's ego as he watched my body vigorously shake. The ego trip was short-lived because he began to feel my warm lava splashing on his dick, making the urge to come himself impossible to resist. I could tell he was trying to fight it, so I tightened my pussy muscles around his shaft like a blood pressure cuff. He held his head back as a grisly grunt escaped to his throat. He pounded into me, releasing his cream inside of me. I heard myself begin to moan even louder, shouting his name over and over. Bryson collapsed to the side of me out of breath. My alarm went off, letting me know I had 30 minutes to wash and get dressed before I had to report to the venue for a fashion show. I didn't want to leave him. I just wanted to bask in the peaceful moment that we were having before heading to total chaos. Before I could roll over in his arms, Bryson kissed me on the forehead and got out of bed.
Where are you going?
What you mean? I have practice this afternoon, and I have to be on a plane in an hour.
I immediately became pissed off. Getting out of bed, I walked up to him. Bryson was 6'2", so he towered over my 5'9" frame. What do you mean practice? Baby, I told you my mother is premiering our new line today at Fashion Week. I wanted you to be there to see me walk. You told me you would make it.
Oh, shit, baby. Was that today?
Bryson, don't act like you forgot.
I swear, baby, I did. I'm so sorry. Aren't you booked all this week? Can I come see you walk at the end of this week?
Not wanting to hear any more, I stormed my sexy brown-skinned self in the bathroom and slammed the door. Most women would love to be standing where I was, looking into Bryson's dark brown eyes, at his dark chocolate skin and wet, juicy caramel lips. But as of right now, I couldn't stand to look in his handsome face for another moment. No, Bryson, this show was important to me. My whole family is gonna be there. How is it gonna look if my boyfriend isn't there? I began running the water to the shower as I became angrier and angrier at Bryson's selfish ass. Him making my runway show meant a lot to me because the media has been having a field day with our relationship ever since he was caught by the paparazzi at a hotel with a cheerleader. Bryson had to pay a heavy fine, being that players and cheerleaders were not allowed to have relations. The fine he paid was nothing compared to facing my family and me. I was upset and hurt to say the least, but a new Benz and a lot of begging, I ain't gonna lie, a good pussy whipping got him out the doghouse. However, the media wasn't letting up as easy as I did. The public was wondering if we were going to survive after the incident. I was being scrutinized for staying with Bryson after pictures leaked of him and a cheerleader leaving the hotel. I guess I really wanted him there so bad to let the media know me and mine were good. I began to wash off the residue of sex while wondering why I put up with Bryson's whorish, selfish ways. Couldn't be the money. I had my own money. Maybe Bryson was my trophy man, like the media often called him. Me, Brooklyn Carter, was the envy of women everywhere. The shower curtain began drawing back, interrupting my thoughts. Startled, I just stood there, naked with soap and water dripping down my smooth skin. Bryson admired my body as he placed a proud, full smile on his face, gloating that all of this was his. I had slanted brown eyes, a needlepoint nose, and small, full lips. My hair was cut like Halle Berry's, showing off my high cheekbones and a perfectly symmetrical face structure. Bryson immediately stood at attention. A smile crossed my face that I was able to arouse my man after we just had an all-out sex session. He stepped into the shower, picking me up like my 120-pound body was half that.
Baby. I'm sorry. I forgot.
I wrapped my arms and legs around him.
But I already committed to 3 practices this week. Please, let me make it up to you.
I looked into his beautiful, pleading eyes and instantly forgave him. He kissed me on the lips, sliding me down onto his shaft.
The Pride of Kyro was written by Ejanai Kamal, produced and directed by Ejanai Kamal and Hanif Wynn. Kyro Carter was played by Jeremiah Blunt. Asia Carter was played by Courtney Jones. Kane Carter was played by Hanif Wynn. London Carter was played by LaToya Ransom. Kingston Carter was played by Jocelyn Frazier. Brooklyn Carter was played by Raven Noble. Karan Carter was played by Zodu Mogs. Captain Sheba was played by Dwayne Bradshaw. Wes Hughes was played by Nick Meyer. Nefertiti Allen was played by Siv Jones. C4 was played by DeJuan Williams. Farrah Wright was played by Taisha Shufa. Bryson Patterson was played by Zodu Mogs. Additional background vocals provided by Khalil Laporta and Christian Guillermo. For the Love of the Pride of Kyro was written by Joseph Buchanan. The Pride of Kyro was recorded at Patchwork Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Sound design for the Pride of Kyro was done by Christian Guillermo. The Pride of Kyro was mixed and mastered by Christian Guillermo from a Shiesty Major. Promotional visuals was provided by Fame of Plan B Marketing. Additional vocals provided by Luther Banks. The Pride of Kyro is streamed on all podcast platforms. Please subscribe and leave us a review. Follow us on all social media at The Pride of Kyro. Follow us on Patreon to receive all exclusive content and early bird access to new episodes. We appreciate all y'all support. Catch us on the next episode. Peace.